Bismillah. I would like to thank organizers of ICHPE 2024 and Ministry of Health and Medical Education of Islamic Republic of Iran for inviting me. And the topic given to me is very interesting and very close to my heart, and that is how we could utilize e-learning to enhance clinical phase teaching and learning. Okay, my name is Hasnan Zafar Baloch, and the topic I'm going to cover for next 20 minutes plus, enhancing e-learning in the clinical phase. Okay, the menu of my talk, I will introduce first about e-learning and how we could incorporate technology enhanced learning, focusing more on clinical phase teaching and learning. Then sharing with you IMU University best practices and some of the lesson learned during implementation of immersive learning and VMCs, virtual medical clinical cases. So later on I will explain in detail. Then I will cover how to make assessment more authentic, because by incorporating workplace-based assessment and competency-based learning and assessment. Then how we could optimize clinical teaching using artificial intelligence. I'll be sharing some of the examples and some of the best practices we have implemented, and sharing the importance of massive open online courses and micro credentials. So these two can upskill or reduce the gap of our learners. And then I will be sharing some of the open educational resources with you and some free apps for learners to go and use these free apps to upskill and learn more. And at the end, I will take the question and answer. Okay, just to share with you all, we have published a paper, almost same title, okay? It was published on 3rd July 20th, 2023. Title of the paper is open access article. So journal, you can actually scan this QR code and can access and can know more in detail. And in this paper, we shared how during pandemic we successfully implemented e-learning and how we could enhance clinical science phase of medical program. So let me briefly share with you all some of the key points. So most of the institutions, when they do transitions from conventional to blended or even e-learning, or move to open and distance learning mode of delivery, they face challenges there. And some of these challenges could be inadequate infrastructure. So you need to well equipped with proper learning management system, internet connection, bandwidth, and then absence of institutional strategies and support. Sometimes certain institutions or managements, they don't realize the importance of blended learning or e-learning, and there might be some time constraints because faculty may be busy in providing patient care, and they could not strike balance between education and patient care. Last but not the least, which is listed here, is poor technical skills and stakeholders' negative attitude towards change, especially when it is technology related or technology enhanced learning related change. They always show this because they don't want to move from their comfort zone. To address all these challenges, so what we suggested, we propose at IMU University a framework for teaching and learning, and each and every school we requested to have a e-learning strategic plan, and all these elements, we invited all the stakeholders, e-learning leads at the school level, and e-learning technologists, instructional designers, graphic designers, and even library specialists were invited to take part in coming up with this e-learning strategic plan. Okay, furthermore, what we did in clinical phase or clinical campus, we form a clinical e-learning team, and we incorporated community of practice concept where we break down a group of faculty and technical experts from e-learning into different groups like emergency group, assessment group, family medicine group, clinical skill simulation group, uh, and you can, based on your resources, you can form these groups, community of practice concept, and they always take care of all the faculty members and teaching and learning activities. Okay, furthermore, these are the findings we discovered from the paper just now I shared. We focus on enhancement of learning management system. That's very critical. We make sure that our portals, our learning management systems are uh, well functional, okay, and seamless integration with other portals. We focus on lesson plan development, and we emphasize by sharing the template with the faculty members that they must follow this template and they must develop lesson plan. And review of learning resources. So we form a committee which will audit kind of learning resources. Quality assessment of lesson plan was make sure by reviewing each and every lesson plan shared by the faculty members. After this quality assessment process, then only they were allowed to go and implement these lesson plans. Curation. So we do allow by incorporating senior students and creation of learning resources. So this is how we emphasize and we successfully overcome the challenges just in the previous slides I have mentioned. Most importantly, to implement all these solutions and best practices, we need a virtual learning environment, VLE. And next few slides, I will be covering how we could incorporate or make VLE or virtual learning environment as a gateway for all teaching and learning activities, resources, assessment. Yes, so I was talking about VLE, virtual learning environment. So when we try to enhance virtual learning environment, we discovered that immersive learning could play a very major, very important role in, enhancing the engagement and online learning experiences. To implement immersive learning, we started a virtual medical clinic project in 2016. And this project was savior during lockdown time because at that time around 20 plus virtual medical clinic cases were developed. And we do incorporated virtual medical museum also, and some of the mixed reality or extended reality applications were also developed. And this is how mix of all these component enhances the virtual learning space or virtual learning environment. Now this is a screenshot of one of the virtual medical case. Uh, we work very closely with clinicians, so they provide authentic data and scripts, and based on their own patient cases, but we don't reveal, identity, and that's why you notice we make it, in a illustrated way, So it's not a real patient, but the case is real. The findings are real. So we converted, we come up with the template and we pass this template to clinicians and ask them to fill up this template based on the cases, the data they have. And then we have converted using e-learning authoring tools to an interactive virtual medical clinical case. And the component of this case is just screenshot I shared here. If you want to access, you can scan this QR code. The only case which is free to access, because the owner already allowed us that they can, public can access this emergency case. We make category or section in these cases. First one, history taking, examination, management, and at the end we give the review. And all these stages we have incorporated our assessment inside it, and learners can take many times, and all the data is captured at learning management system. So currently we have more than 50 cases, and we are adding every year number of cases developed by our faculty and e-learning staff. Okay, so what we are going to add further into these cases is 3D models. So now in latest cases, we are incorporating 3D models to explain the anatomical part or other component or sections of these cases. We even successfully implemented peer role play, video of that peer role play incorporated into a virtual medical clinical cases, and students really liked. And the students who perform this role play as a simulated patients actually really enjoyed and learned a lot, and they could realize the other side of and some of their peers acted as doctors, for treating this. And this was one of the successful feature we have implemented, and students really liked it. Then we have incorporated AI chatbot. So what we did, we requested clinicians to give us the data about particular case, and every case we have a separate chatbot, and we trained that chatbot based on the data provided by the clinician or by the practitioner from that particular case. So that makes even more fun while learning, because learners can now interact with the chatbot and ask more questions about the patient or about the case. And the chatbot is trained based on the data given by our practitioner or clinicians to train our chatbot. So it makes learning more personalized and more individualized. And you can even ask chatbot more, practicing more, because nowadays these chatbot, they are allowed multimodal interaction. So you can even type, you can even use mic, voice, and they can also return your queries in a voice form. Okay. Now, how we can make assessment in digital learning and how to make it more authentic. So what we did, we incorporated workplace-based assessment features with competency-based learning. And all this we have done internally. We customize learning management system feature and incorporate all this workplace-based assessment and competency-based integrated together. Let me share in next few slides how we have done successfully this. So we customize assignment activities. We use learning management system and incorporated assessment tools. We call that as digital logbook. We convert assessment-based and competency-based into a digital logbook. So, and then on top of it, we come up with the dashboard, which is incorporated with the radar diagram, which can check live the competency of each and every learner based on a benchmark set. And we could monitor and document students' learning digitally. And not only learning, skills and attitude is also incorporated into this competency-based assessment or workplace-based assessment, And we align course learning outcome and, track learning for seamless workplace work-based assessment experience. Okay, let me share with you some of the challenges we faced while implementing digital logbook and workplace-based assessment with competency-based also. So transition from paper-based, so it was challenging. So what we did, we tried to mimic close to how paper-based logbook was utilize and convert it into a digital form and customize it according to the stakeholders. And we provide proper training to users, students, lecturers, and we even enhance the usability by modifying different look and feel, or even the screens, and we have even added offline functionality, because sometimes students are placed in certain clinics where internet is not stable. Okay, this is a screenshot of how we track students' competencies progress bar. So each and every cell represents certain competency, and all those with green, they have successfully achieved the required level of competencies, and those in red, they are in trouble. So we need to actually find the reason and how we could actually reskill our learners. Okay, this screen shows multiple view of data where we integrate tasks, competencies, assessment, and case reports. So if you click on all these like satisfactory, it will drill down to what activity and evidence of learning on which they got this satisfactory level in these particular competencies. So this is one of the few screenshots I'm sharing with you on our learning management system and how we could integrate. Next slide will show uh, the benefits of using this, because it's developed in-house, so we can always change or adjust according to any new requirement from different schools. And it's seamlessly streamlined gathering of student progress data for the coordinator, preceptors, and school administrators. It digitized using LMS assignment activities, and record of professionalism, infringement could be tracked, and evidence of students' learning is very well documented. Okay, the key feature of competency workplace-based assessment, what we did, we have mobile application support, we have radar diagram for our dashboard. I will show you in the next slide the diagram of radar diagram. Then we can scalable to any other school. So we started with School of Medicine, even School of Dentistry, and now School of the Pharmacy is also planning to use this workplace-based assessment and competency-based and radar diagram. Adding more competencies, yes, very easy, because we have developed our in-house. So we work very closely with the different schools, and if they want to add any new competencies, we could map it to the activities and even to the placement, and students can be tracked accordingly. And we have training, which is self-directed learning mode. We can enhance the user experience and interface, and based on the feedback continuously we are getting. Now this slide is showing you the dashboard for particular competency, like our skill, like for example communication. These are the number of questions students or learner have to answer, and they can answer, but they have to provide the evidence of their learning. And by doing that, it's computing into this radar diagram. Currently this radar diagram, the screenshot I took, is just showing the live particular students, but later on it will benchmark with the standard, or with cohort, or even for certain benchmarks we can set that. Okay, during lockdown we innovate and experimented uh, how we could convert bedside teaching to online bedside teaching. So we published paper with Prof. Shahid Hassan and myself, and we came up with a framework which actually students really liked, and we use authentic scenario with hypothetical deductive approach and Gagne's instructional model incorporated together, and we converted small group bedside teaching to online bedside teaching. So you can scan this QR code to get details about all paper. Okay, I just extracted one of the infographic we have created in this paper, and very successfully we came up with this framework where we incorporated Gibbs reflective practice, We have hypothetical deductive think aloud approach for the differential diagnosis. We incorporated Gagne's 9 units of instruction, and you could see all these steps from 1 to 5 we have successfully incorporated by the help of videos, images, and multimedia from authentic real case. We convert that into an interactive virtual medical clinic case, and we successfully implemented, and students really enjoyed. And even now they have a privilege to go and clerk patient physically, but still we can use this approach to make them more confident. They can practice using this small group bedside online bedside teaching and practice. And while they go clerk physically, they will have more confidence to clerk patient and handle patient and go through all these phases. Okay, just to share with you some of the digital resources which could be incorporated to enhance clinical phase teaching and learning. Ebooks. There are several sites from where you can get ebooks. Micro credentials, and I will touch a bit more later on. Very important to upskill our students. E-journals. We have videos. There are a lot of sites from where you could watch videos about procedures. Question banks. Let learner go and practice. Online databases. We have examination databases. We have e-portfolios. Sometime if you can allow sharing of these e-portfolios with learners, like senior students, portfolios can be viewed by juniors, that could be very successful and helpful. E-community of practice, and we have successfully implemented open educational or open access resources. And don't forget about social media. It's a very powerful tool from where we could actually learn from experts. And it is highly recommended to have a central digital repository and massive open online courses. We successfully implemented micro-learning concept about 3 years ago. We coined this term. We go in small scale, focus, and small learning units. These are different types of micro-learning content. It could be infographics, simulation, short video, or podcast. A very small simulation or game we can create. A simple email could be in micro-learning content. If it triggers, curiosity, learning, and assessment is involved in that. Okay, micro-credential. So what we could do, we could merge different micro-learning content combined together to address certain outcomes and package that into a micro-credential course. In different part of the world, we may use different name for this. Some countries, they use mini degree, nano degree, micro certification, or even digital badges. So this is another opportunity for our learners. They can go and register micro credentials offered by world well-known universities, and they can learn from expert of the area. Short course, micro learning, micro credential, and they could upskill themselves. Okay, few more open source or free sources I'm going to share. All COVID-related treatment simulation is free on this site, NEJM group, or you can scan this QR code. Link is also provided there. You can let your learner practice that. And this is a screenshot of one of the case where students can click on different part of the body of the patient and get all the data and can practice. Okay, so I'm sharing with you some open educational resources search engine. Forget about normal search engines. Just use this Merlo, and you could these search engines are focused on all open educational resources. Oasis is another search engine for open educational resources. This is the QR code. Okay, another free app I'm going to share with you is Prognosis. You can download this app and students can practice, or even practitioners, they can practice. There are hundreds of cases. Each case will not take more than 5 minutes. You can go read the case, manage it, practice some assessment, and they will give you feedback, and you can practice multiple times. Okay, Make sure pedagogy is at the driving seat, technology is just accelerator, and your passion is the gas to drive this van of e-learning. So in summary, what I covered, I give an introduction about technology enhanced learning. I covered immersive learning and virtual learning environment and how virtual medical clinic could be helpful. Then I covered authentic assessment, workplace-based, and how we incorporated digital logbook, competency-based assessment, and how we optimize clinical teaching by using artificial intelligence. I just touched a bit on MOOCs and micro-credentials, how these could upskill our learners, And then I shared with you some of the open educational resources and free apps. And now I'll move on to question and answer session. And once again, thanks for your patience and listening. This is some of my blog and SlideShare where I upload all the slides. Feel free to contact me if you want to know more about each and everything I shared here. That I will be happy to share in detail, how we could implement to any institution. Thank you.